Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is the Black Manga Critic. We are back. One Piece chapter 895, y'all. We gotta react to that. I have not read it yet. So you're right, like I always want to be honest about what I've seen and what I haven't, right? So the only thing that I definitively know about this chapter is how Luffy looks to Snake Man. I've seen that, right? Because the images have been everywhere, people have been posting and blah blah blah. That's on me because like I did not mute notifications for One Piece. That's on me, right? Like that's on me. Okay, I know that this is a thing that I can do. I didn't do it. I'm not blaming nobody for spoilers. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. All right, so that's on me. I need to be better about that. I had to do that for Black Panther because everybody, I gotta talk about Black Panther. I gotta spoil it. I'm like, I haven't seen it yet, y'all. I'm gonna go see it on Thursday. I'm gonna go see it with my fiance on Thursday. All right, just hold on a little bit, okay? But we're gonna read this One Piece chapter. I saw that Dustin Reacts did a reaction video, so I already know how he feels about this chapter. I already know. I don't know how a lot of people feel about this chapter too, just because I've heard some things. I haven't watched anybody's video necessarily, but I did watch a little bit of Trent's video because he was like, this chapter wasn't a 10 out of 10. I'm Trent Money. If you haven't followed Trent Money, check his channel out, check out his content. Again, Dustin Reacts, also check out his content, check out his stuff. But like, I'm interested, man. I'm interested. I know people have been anticipating my reaction to this, and I don't know. If I rant, I rant. If I don't rant, then I don't rant. Because ranting takes a lot of energy. You know what I mean? I'm not in the business of ranting. I'm in the business of just like talking about things, seeing how I feel about the chapter, doing all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I want to have a good time. Like, it takes a lot of negative energy, a lot of like aggressive energy to rant, and it's a killer on your upper back. Because it's like you get all stiff. You don't want to do that. So let's get into it. Let's see who's in the chat, see who's going to be watching this and everything like that. Because I'm a live streamer basically at this point. I live stream pretty much everything that I do on this channel. It saves you a lot of time. You know what I mean? So let's get into it. Man, everybody here. Everybody here. Yo, Dustin, what's good? Yo, my bro's here, my brother's here. Knock him out for life. Yo, what's good, Reg? What's going on? Blanca Blanca Flame, what is up? Yo, Professor Hitomi, what is good? Yo, Yata, yo, John Boy, what is up? Dragonite. I know, I was like a reaction video. That was like gold. That was like comedy gold. I was like, I had to read the chapter because if he hadn't put out that video, I probably wouldn't have read the chapter at all. I would have been like, I'm just gonna wait until the arc's over. But because I saw that, I was like, I gotta read this chapter. I gotta. Yeah, it's like stuff like that, man. Oh man. Yo, Dustin's like, Dragonite finally fixed his name. Yo, this because he had the 666 in it. Yeah, that's I mean, it was cool. I didn't mind it because like I'm Dragonite seems like a pretty cool dude. Like I've never had an issue with Dragonite ever. Like pretty sure he's not into any like wild stuff or anything like that. So I never had a problem with it. But it's funny. It's funny though. Let's see. Facts are people comment on stuff like that, But let's get into the chapter though. Let's see what's going on here. And I'm just gonna I'm just gonna read it, and if something's like, whoa, that's interesting, then I'm gonna do that. If it's like, then that's what it's gonna be. And I'm gonna honestly rate this chapter, okay? I'm not gonna be like, oh well, it was a solid 8.5. I'm like, nah, like some things were 8.5, like right, based on how I feel about the manga, right? And thinking about other chapters in the past and everything like that, right? I don't compare like, okay, this One Piece chapter was trash because this Promised Neverland chapter was amazing. Like I don't do that. I'm just like, yo, this One Piece chapter was trash because like when compared to other like One Piece chapters, it's trash. So let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it. Chapter 895 is entitled Luffy the Pirate versus General Katakuri. The Saga of the Self-Proclaimed Straw Hat Fleet, Volume 27. Harridan. Buggy's deliveries 5 big earners just quit. Yeah, we've been knowing that. We learned, all right? So, like Roger, we were talking about this like in another stream where he was like, we used to have to go through this guy's sort of cover page story and everything like that. And I mean, like, Oda moving along. So I'm pretty sure this arc's gonna end pretty quickly. Gear 4, Snake Man. See, this is what I'm talking about, right? So I've seen it. The thing about this is, I'm gonna get into it when I finish reading the chapter. But I'm not impressed because it's like, I'm just not impressed right now. I'm not impressed, right? Because I've seen it. I've had a little bit of time with the design. But let's go. Snake Man, you seem a bit different from before. That's right. Now I'm faster. Huh? Boom. So he got hit in the face. Let's see what's going on. Katakuri senses something's coming. Boom. Tries to block. Why did it come from the side? And what is it? I'm sure that I dodged that. Boom. So that's what's happening. Boom, boom, boom. After him, he dodged. After him, Python. That won't work. Even stretching, I'll accelerate. No. Jet though. Oh, that's interesting. Jet Culvern. Or Culveden. I guess I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm gonna go with Culveden. That was interesting. Okay. So that okay. I'm gonna get into it. It's interesting, but like I'm gonna get into it later. Okay, so we move on. All right, so he's a Snake Man. Boom. Yeah. So he dodged. Katakuri dodged. He turned himself into a donut. Okay, so that's interesting. Boom. He hockeyed up. Buzz cut. Mochi. Oh wow! So it was like a lariat. You know, like a wrestling move, like a clothesline, basically. Wow, he got hit. He got hit pretty hard. What? Oh wow, he can't move because it's Mochi. See, that's what I'm talking about that later too. Okay. Boom. Stop it. Can't get loose. So he slams him onto the floor. Man, Luffy got slammed. So the art's pretty cool. I mean, I cannot complain about the art. Like, the art's really cool. Katakuri looks pretty cool here. It looks like more intense than usual. All right, sorry about this, guys. I gotta website's being a little funky. So I just gotta hop back into this. Come on. Yeah, I know an error has occurred. Weekly Shonen Jump. An error always occurs. Oh, something wrong with this. 66. All right, sorry about it. If this happens, it's the website. Okay, 66. Okay. Huff. That hurts. The pain. I'm so hungry. Boom. What are you saying? Everything I'm thinking. It feels much better that way. That's interesting. I'm gonna knock you out, Katakuri. Boom. Boom. So it's just like a lot of hits. That's interesting. That's different. Okay, so that's different. Yo. So Luffy's just kind of like saying everything that's like that he's feeling, I guess. Boing. Boom. Gomu Gomu no Black Mamba. I guess it's like a snake Gatling gun. Oh, but Luffy gets smacked in the face. Whoa. And then boom, huff huff. It's that one again. And the only reason I'm moving closer to the screen is because like it's a little small. I can't like really enlarge the screen right now. It's that one again. I'll ease your pain for you. This is the end, Straw Hat. No thanks. It says Buzz Cut Mochi. King Cobra. One Piece will be off next week. Sips tea. Sips tea. That's all I gotta say about the chapter for right now. Sips tea. I mean, it was quick. Yo, Joey's like, bro, that was it was quick, man. Reptar, what's up? I mean, yeah, I heard. Benevolworld has been like rapping and doing all that stuff. Like, you know, cool beans. I mean, like more power to people that are like, you know, chasing after the stuff that they want to do. I would never knock anybody for doing that. I haven't listened to his music or anything like that, so I can't tell you, oh, his music is dope or anything like that. But back to the One Piece, man. Yeah, just I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think like what the rating of the chapter should be. That's the thing. I will give this like if I had to like right honestly rank the chapter. Six out of 10 because the art was good, right? Because the art was really good. I thought the art was great. But that's what I'm giving it. Because the art was cool. Right? I said 6 out of 10. That's what I'm giving it. In my head, I was like 5 out of 10. But then I was like, no, the art was actually pretty good. It took a step up. So I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. But could be a 5 out of 10, right? It could be a 5 out of 10. But I'm trying to be nice, y'all. I'm trying to be nice. I'm really trying. I'm really trying because a 5 out of 10, right? You know what? No. I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. Why? Because the art is like great. It was great art. So I gotta give all the props for that. But the fight itself, the battle, everything like that. I mean, people were talking about like, right, in terms of the manga, they're talking about like fight choreography and stuff like that. I'm like, the fight choreography wasn't that dope. Like, I'm a little confused actually because when I was hearing people talk about this is the best fight choreography ever, this is amazing, da, 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 da. Like they were hyping this up, man. They were really hyping up this fight choreography, but I'm like, yo, but the fight choreography was not that dope. Like, wasn't that dope, yo? Fight I'm giving it chapter 5 out of 10. Why? Because the art was great, but the fight itself is still pretty boring. Still pretty boring. I wasn't hyped. There were some things that were interesting, but not in the way that it was like, yo, this fight is so dope, right? It was like he did a jet cool, like, whoa, he did a enhanced version. Like, we've never seen an enhanced version of any of these, like, of any of the types of moves before. Like, we never seen Luffy say jet anything before. We never seen Luffy do another version of a Gatling gun before. Like, this is what I'm talking about, man. It's basic. You know what I mean? This is basic stuff. People talk, yo, but like, it's Jacob. Calm it down. Somebody, calm it down. Calm it down a little bit. Okay? It's a 5 out of 10, man. It's a 5 out of 10 chapter. And all right, people give it a 6 out of 10. Cool. It's a 5 out of 10 chapter, man. For me, right? Me. Right? In a vacuum, it's like, whoa, if you showed it to somebody else and they're reading the manga and they generally read Battle Shonen, and you show it to somebody else in a vacuum, it's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. The art's dope. You know, interesting designs. The fight looks like it's pretty cool, it's pretty interesting, but like with all the context and everything like that, it's boring. People have readily admitted that there is no real like emotional. Right, at least for a lot of people, like the emotional sort of like context is weak. It's super weak. Again, that backstory for Katakuri, weak. We got like what, a panel or two, maybe? Small panels at that? Weak. Get that weak sauce out of here, please. Oda, put them panels in a garbage can, start again. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see that. We've seen better. We've seen so much better. So much better. Okay? So come on, man. Please. Take that weak sauce backstory, throw it in the computer trash bin or whatever. Start again. Start again. People are like, oh, but Katakuri. I get it. I get like if you've been bullied, if you've been, I get it. Like there's an attachment to that. I understand. But like when we're talking about right objectively, if we're talking about the way in which Oda has constructed backstories in the past, this is weak. This is not good. I don't know how anybody can be like, yo, this was like the best. This is one of the best backstories ever. No, right? The emotional context is like, we're talking about the way in which Oda's constructed that. It's trash. It's trash. Okay. It was Skinny Bounce Man. Yo, Gabby, what is up? It was Skinny Bounce Man. I mean, like the conception of Snake Man was so like, come on, man. And Oda tried so hard. He had a whole battle. It was set up. It was like, yo, look at this massive battle, yo. Snake Man, bro. Come on, man. Come on. This is what I'm talking, right? It's like Oda has the talent and the work ethic to come up with better stuff than this. He does. He does. Right? We've seen it. And we've seen him do it consistently. This is what I'm talking about with people. People are like, yo, man, it was dope. It was dope, man. Come on, man. Please. Come on. Come on. So, I mean, like, if we just go through the chapter real quick, right? Because I'm gonna do this just to go through this because I have to. Right? The only thing that I liked about this chapter in terms of like the fight was the buzz cut sort of motion thing. That was cool, right? It made sense, but for me, it's like, why didn't I see that earlier, right? Why didn't I see buzz cut mochi earlier? Why didn't I see certain things earlier? And people do not have a legitimate response to that, right? Like something that makes total sense. And right? Other than, well, I mean, it's a battle shonen. I mean, it's a battle shonen. It's a battle shonen, man. You know what I mean? Like, this is the way battle shonens work. I'm like, no, that does right? Like, mediocrity does not excuse other instances of mediocrity. That's not the way that works. It's not the way that works. Okay? Like, this I guess stuff that I'm talking about, right? And for this instance, the reason why I have to, right, like I'm not only am I comparing it to One Piece chapters in the past and One Piece fights in the past and everything like that, but I'm comparing it to like other manga, because you cannot be a weekly shonen jump manga, battle shonen manga worth your salt in particular situations, right? And write something like that and be like, come on, man, do better. Do better. Do better. Right? Stop giving us this weak sauce. Please. We don't need it. We don't need it. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Okay? Like, the way that the battle has gone, people are like, yo, this battle is the best battle ever. This battle is like second only to Luffy versus Lucci. I'm like, there were at least five battles that are better than this battle. At least five. I think I mentioned them in Dustin's video. I wrote them down in the comment. For me, this is for me, right? This is how I feel about them, right? From both a manga standpoint and an anime standpoint. But mainly a manga standpoint, because like it's manga, right? That are generally better. And I think even when we get this animated, they'll still be better. They'll still be better. Luffy versus Arlong, way better than this fight. Way better. Luffy versus Arlong is an incredible fight. I love that. I love that fight. That fight is ghost stats, right? Like the things that are happening in that fight, right? Like, it's not just about the fight choreography and what Luffy's doing and the ingenuity and everything like that, and Luffy showing himself as a instinctual like battle genius, right? There's so much more going on there. What's going on with Arlong? What's going on? Right, and the fight's only gotten better as time gone on because the context has expanded. Right, so even in that instance, it was a great fight, but now it's an even better fight because we know so much more about Arlong and about the Fisherman Pirates and about all that stuff. So I mean, like that's an incredible fight. Luffy destroying the room because it's like, yo, this is a symbol. Luffy understanding symbols. You know what I mean? Metaphors. Like, yo, Luffy was on his A game for that battle. You know what I mean? First he said, I gotta destroy the room, then I'm gonna kick your butt. Then I'm gonna curb stomp you. And then he proceeded to literally curb stomp Arlong. You know what I mean? Like, that was an incredible, incredible fight. I still rewatch that fight all the time. Another battle that was way better than this one. Blackbeard versus Ace. Way better than this one. Right? Initially, it was cool, it was interesting, but but now in 2018, that battle is ghost status because of the context. That's allowed. You are allowed to incorporate the context of the manga that the battle is situated in to raise the status of that battle. Right? Like, we all do this, I'm pretty sure. So like Blackbeard versus Ace is like, oh, that is a battle. Everything about it, the conversation prior leading up to the actual fists being thrown. I mean, it's so great. Ace is just there by himself. Ace is literally there. And then Blackbeard is like, nah, y'all gotta stay out this battle. Y'all are actually in my way. Just go over here, man. Like, it was really gonna be Ace versus his crew. And then Blackbeard was like, nah, like, this actually isn't gonna work. Like, if I use my entire crew, I'm gonna lose my crew here. Like, y'all might die before I beat Ace. Like, there were so many great things about that battle. Right? Ace being like, yo, I gotta, like, Whitebeard's gonna be the pirate. Like, and this is what I'm talking about. Everything about like old, like I say old school One Piece, right? Because old school One Piece is just there's a lot of greatness there, lots of greatness there. That's another one battle that's great. Of course, Luffy versus Lucci. The emotional context during that battle is like not only Robin but Usopp, right? I still haven't like I did like okay, Usopp made Luffy get up, like whatever, right? But I've gotten over that. But emotionally, it's so good, right? The comedy, that blend of comedy and somberness and the pathetic nature of it, right? We laugh because Luffy's like, "Is that Usopp?" as if all of us, including the rest of his crew, didn't realize that was Usopp, right? Like we knew that was this, but we knew that was Usopp. But Luffy was like, "Usopp, what are you doing here?" Like super funny, but also really intense because it's like they just recently had a battle, like a duel, yo. Luffy just kicked his butt out the crew. Like that, Luffy, like, right? Like, not only, right? And that kind of leads me to my next thing, right? Like, nothing needs to be said about Luffy versus Lucci much, right? But Luffy versus Usopp is a better battle than this. Way better. People talk about fight choreography, da-da-da. That fight choreography was way better. Usopp came to play in that battle. Usopp came to play in that battle, yo. Nobody can tell me otherwise. Luffy was like, "Yo, what's going on here?" Like, I thought it was gonna come through. Gomu Gomu no pistol. Let's go. We'd be done. Nah, Usopp not about that life. Yo, at that moment, Usopp was not about that fake story life. He was not about that fake news life. Usopp was like, "Let's go. Let's do this." And everything about the context, everything was so important, right? The stakes, right? The stakes though. I mean, that was an incredible battle. That was an incredible battle. That's 4, right? Like, what was the 5th one? I know I had a 5th one. I can't remember for the life of me. But that's maybe that is 5. I don't know. Maybe that is 5. I'm trying to think of the last one. But there were at least 5 battles that are right that are better than Luffy versus Katakuri, and that's at least, right? When I say at least, there are more. There are more within the story of One Piece that are better than this fight. This, like, I don't know what people. I'm not really seeing what other people are seeing. I think like I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't. I don't see it. All right. I don't see it. But right, so let me just list them off, right? Ace versus Blackbeard, Luffy versus Lucci, Luffy versus Usopp, Luffy versus Arlong. Luffy versus Magellan. Luffy versus Magellan. That fight's way better than this fight. That was when you knew like things were legit real, right? Luffy was trying his hardest, and like that's when you knew the level of skill in terms of antagonists skyrocketed, right? We already saw that with Aokiji and everything like that, right? We already saw that, but like in that instance, right? Luffy is legitimately trying to achieve a particular goal. He has, the stakes are super high, and he has to beat this guy, and he can't. Not by himself. Then he gets help, and he still gets washed. And I appreciated that so much at that moment, because it was like, yo, Luffy, you can't just your way out of battles. You can't. At that point, it was like, yo, you got to get better, man. You got to get better. Like, it was so good. He was just on the floor. Magellan just left him. He's like, Magellan was like, I'm done. I'm done. You done. You done. Right? The context of it. Oh my goodness. Luffy versus Magellan is so much better than this fight. I don't like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so much better. So much better. So those are my five. Those are my five, right? And that's not to say that you can't argue this. I'm not saying you can't argue it, but like to me, it's like I'm trying to think. I'm like, how can you like I want to hear those claims, right? And I think I'm gonna have a stream about that at some point. Like, what are these claims? Like, how do you say, right, that those battles aren't better like than this one? This one is not a great battle. It's a really lackluster battle, honestly. It's a little insulting. That's how I feel about it. This battle is a little insulting when it comes to being like a One Piece fan, when it comes to being a reader of One Piece and everything like that. It's insulting because it's not very good. The setup is weak. The best part of the fight was before the fight even happened. When Luffy said, boom, I'm gonna smash the mirror. That was the best part of the fight. And maybe the merienda, right? But that was like a break. That was like a break between, like, maybe those two were the best part of the fight. When the fight wasn't really happening. Those are the best parts of the fight. I actually enjoyed those parts more than I enjoyed Snake Man. That's how you know this battle is trash. When I enjoy the pauses connected to the fight. More so than the transformation, the Gear Force transformation. Come on, man. I mean, if you ask someone, like, what did you enjoy more, Snake Man or Luffy breaking the mirror? I'm pretty sure, like, honestly, right? If you honestly answer that, I'm pretty sure some people would be like, yo, when Luffy broke the mirror, that was dope. When the merienda happened, that was hilarious. That was so funny. That was hilarious. But like, yo, those two things were better than Snake. Like, Snake Man was underwhelming, to say the least. To say the least. You know what I mean? Like, what? We got, yo. It's not, yo. It's not. It's just, meh. Like, there were way better battles than this battle, okay? And this chapter was the battle. It wasn't about anything. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it wasn't about anything else because, like, you know, we got Harden and the cover story, but like generally the chapter was the battle. That's all it encompasses. 895 don't say nothing about nothing. You know what I mean? It's like, and what bothers me, I think, on most about this chapter is that the previous chapter, we got this whole thing. Oda was like, again, Oda makes the same mistake that he did that I complained about before. He's setting up these things. He has this whole, like, he has these moments of intensity and gravitas and everything like that, right? And of pathos, right? Where they're both, right? Where Luffy and Katakuri are both responding to future statements, right? And then we get this, like, 5 out of 10 chapter, man. And again, the only reason it's a 5 out of 10 is because the art was great. I love the art. The art was cool. Snake Man is not included in that art. But I thought Katakuri's art was phenomenal. I thought that was great. That was cool stuff. I mean, this is a boring chapter. Ugh. The form was corny. All right. I saw Snake Man. I was talking noise, but when I saw Cat putting on a show, I got quite. Yeah, I was like, Katakuri looked great. Like the art was great. You know, Luffy is usually way more creative, and it was just like we seen that in Gear 4, yo. I'm confused. Like, why is the Snake Man use less like hockey? Like, is that what it is? You know, like I'm confused. Like, I genuinely do not understand. Like, why is he faster? It's weird. Maybe because he's not bouncing all over the place, I guess. Right? So it could be that, but it's weird. It's weird, y'all. It's weird. It has. Yeah, the Cracker battle was better. I agree. The Cracker battle was better. You know, it wasn't like an incredible fight, but I thought there was something more there. Like it gave the hint of the fact that Luffy was probably not going to be able to beat this guy on his own. right? When Cracker came out, there's just the Cracker puppets or whatever, and he sliced through Luffy's arm. I was like, yo! I was legit like, yo! And then I saw his design. I was like, yo, Cracker looks super cool. I think I enjoyed that more than I do this. Definitely. It's not a good chapter. You know? It's not. The Arlong versus Luffy fight is way better than this fight. Way better than this fight. You know? I mean, you know? Yo. I mean, no. Greatest chapter? No. Greatest fight? No. I mean, somebody was like chapter of the year. I mean, and again, I want to have conversations with these people, right? I don't want to just be like, oh, you know, King of Lightning, don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, he's stupid. Blah, blah. No. Right? Chibi reviews don't know what he's talking about. He's stupid. No. I'm not saying nothing like that. What I'm saying is like, I don't get it, but I'm gonna probably try to have conversations with them. I'm gonna open up like a call. We're gonna have like a stream at some point, and we're gonna talk about this because I'm like, oh, I don't see what y'all are talking about. I don't see it, right? I'm not trying to slander people like that. Unless like they like a Double 4 anime, like that's like a person like I don't know what's going on there, but like nah. You know what I mean? Like something's up with that dude. You know? Like when a YouTuber is like particularly toxic, right? And is like legit trying to do harm to another person, like, nah, I don't mess with that. I don't like that. That's not right. So yeah, it's not slander. It's just like, yo, you're a scummy human being. Like something's off. You know what I mean? Like, and not and then like, you know, medically like diagnosed weight or anything like that, right? It's like, nah. You know, so I'm not doing that. But I want to have like I have the opportunity at this point to have conversations with them. You know, so I want to hear. I'm going to be like, yo, where's like, please explain where this is coming from. So I want to hear this stuff because this chapter was not very good. This chapter was a 5 out of 10 for me, y'all. I'm sorry. It was a 5 out of 10 chapter. Okay, it wasn't very good. It could have done more. The art was great, but what is up? You know, the art was good, but other than that, yeah, right. And like and even Katakuri, like I understand, like I understand loving him for his design. I think his design is great. His design is cool. But both before and after the face reveal. Both designs are great. I love both designs. I actually love his design here a bit more. It's just like, I don't know, something about him, right? He kind of reminds me of like Jinbei a bit, and I think Jinbei's adorable, and I love Jinbei to death. Jinbei's my favorite character in One Piece. Shouts out to Jinbei fanboys, Jinbei fan girls, Jinbei fan non-binary folks, Jinbei fan genderqueer folks. Jinbei's my guy, but I don't understand like the character. I don't get it. Like I don't know what makes his personality particularly like amazing, but I get like I think like post right Merienda, I think Katakuri is like more interesting, definitely. But I don't really understand like what makes him like whoa. You know what I mean? I don't really get it. Jinbei is my heart. Jinbei is my One Piece heart. Like I can always count on Jinbei to say what should be said. You know what I mean? Like I could always count on Jinbei. And that matters, yo. That matters. You know, that One Piece chapter was a 5 out of 10, yo. You know? But the fight is boring. The fight is so boring. Like, I don't understand it. And people like the fight choreography is great. I don't know what we're talking about here. Like, huh? I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, it's just basically boom, boom, and clothesline. This is like, this fight is like that. You know, whatever, you know when you either used to watch wrestling or you still watch wrestling, and there's the match, and like when you're watching WWE Raw or something like that, and there's a match that you know doesn't matter. You're just waiting for like the end of the show, because that's when the cool stuff happens. That's when like the main event stuff happens. Excuse me, right? This match is like that. Remember when Kofi Kingston didn't matter in WWE? Right? Right, when he didn't matter and he had a match and you were like, yo, like, can we move on? You were like, can we move on from this match? Let's see what Triple H is doing. Let's see what Booker T is doing. Let's see what Stone Cold is doing, what The Rock is doing, what, you know, even John Cena, right? Like even those, right? Let's see what Lita is doing. Let's see what Jeff Hardy is doing. Let's see what China is doing. Let's see what we want to get to the main event stuff. We're not trying to see Kofi Kingston do nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah, right? Like he did become a heel at some point, right? But before that, I was like, Kofi, like you cool, Black Pride, all that stuff. But I'm like, yo, Kofi, the personality ain't there. You know, like that's what I'm talking about. That's what's happening here. We just got like this, like the stakes are supposed to be ridiculously high, but I don't feel them. That's weird, right? And it's like, and I think like I'm not concerned if Luffy wins or loses this fight. I still have a feeling that he's gonna lose, but I don't know. I really don't know. But I have a feeling that he's gonna lose. I just do. You know. But if he wins, I'm not gonna be like, you know, I'm not rooting for him to lose. I just have a feeling, right? But if I turn out to be wrong, I'm not gonna be like mad that I'm wrong. I'm gonna be like, yo, okay, Luffy, go win that battle. I just feel like he's gonna lose. And people like, this is another conversation that I want to have, because like people keep saying that like the plot wouldn't make any sense if Luffy lost. I'm like, what do you mean? Like there are so many things that Oda could do with that. If Luffy lost, you would like, right? It's more in some ways I'm more interested, because I don't have a clear-cut way of seeing like, okay, here's how the arc's going to go. You know, hop, skip, jump, right? If Luffy lost, well, I'm interested. Where do we go from there? What are the moves that are being made to get the Straw Hats out of there? That's really right with Luffy down for the count. That to me is really, really interesting. I would love to see that, because like it's like, yo, you know. But if he wins, I'm like, I have an idea of how that arc's going to end. I have an idea where it's going to go. Okay, right? And then like I'm not gonna be mad. I'm just gonna be like indifferent, you know, because it's like, okay, cool, we move on. But the choreography, it's not that it was bad necessarily. It's just not very interesting. It's not anything that's like particularly special. It's not anything that's particularly like, you know, it's not necessarily groundbreaking or like, whoa, I didn't expect that. Like the clothesline, I'm like, wow, he did like the snake thing was cool, but like the clothesline thing was cool, but it wasn't like, you know, it was just like, yo, he did a clothesline with spikes on it. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't particularly interesting. You know, if people think it was bad, I'm not necessarily going to argue against that, but I can see how you can argue that it wasn't bad. But I truly believe that the fight choreography wasn't anything particularly great or good, even. I think the art was cool. Like I think the like right, and art's not necessarily about the the way the fight like the moves are drawn in terms of direction or anything like that. It's more just like, I think Oda really took his time with drawing particular things, and the assistants are And Oda owes his assistants a great debt because the assistants really, right? They add that stuff. I think if anything, the assistants can get a lot of that credit because they do a lot of that work. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I want to see where it goes if he loses, right? And people are like, oh, but that doesn't make any sense. Everything is worthless. I'm like, to you, everything that's happened up to this point, it doesn't make sense or is worthless. But I think to a lot of other people, it'd be really interesting. Yeah, where like that was what made One Piece great. You always knew that you were going to get like these like team battles, and the fights were going to be interesting and funny and maybe not so funny. But you generally knew that that's what you were going to get. Now it's sort of like, we know we're just kind of waiting for Luffy to like get to this place where he's going to battle someone. And it's like, I don't like that. And it's right, and even that, right? Like the thing isn't even so much that there are no stakes. It's that there's no real like emotional connection to the stakes, right? Like one thing, when I was in before I left my doctoral program, and I had a professor, and she would always ask us, right, in my doctoral program, she would always ask for English, she would always ask, but what are the stakes? When you would write anything, she'd always ask, well, what are the stakes, right? And that would mean like, why are you writing this, right? One right, like in relation to that, be why are you writing this? Why is it right? Why is it important? Who needs this other than yourself? And how do you feel like this is going to help a group of people or change the landscape of things or stuff like that, right? And like, so for me, when I was writing that stuff, like there had to be stakes. Otherwise, I wouldn't be interested in that in what I was writing at all, right? I like it'd be like pulling teeth. So even within that, and even though I was deeply unhappy within that program, like there was still stakes like, in the stuff that I was writing. Here, it's like, for me, it's like, yes, there are stakes, right? But the emotional connection to those stakes isn't there. It's almost like, right? It's almost like I'm trying to explain this in like, and maybe I'm not explaining it super clearly, but I think that it's sort of like the difference between like, when like, right, you can have stakes and things, and stakes are important, right? So I'm not saying that there aren't stakes in this like when it comes to this battle. What I'm saying is that the emotional sort of component is almost non-existent, right? And it's weak. So whether or not the stakes are there doesn't matter so much as whether you care about those stakes, right? And I think a lot of people don't care about the stakes that are being presented by Oda, right? The stakes are sort of like, if Luffy loses, Katakuri regains sort of like control over the situation, and and it's up to him to decide how the sort of story will move forward, right? So the stakes are sort of like, if Luffy loses, he loses control of that particular situation, in a sense, right? It's just like, but generally, like I don't care about those stakes. I'm not really interested in those stakes, especially if Luffy wins. I'm even less interested. So that's kind of what I'm talking about here. You know, you can have stakes. Like the stakes are here, they're apparent, but they're not particularly interesting. They're not particularly the pathos, right? There's a lot of logos here, right? We talk about the logic of it and everything like that. There's a lot of that here, but it's not particularly pathetic. It's not particularly interesting. Right? That's sort of what I'm talking about. And I think some people are like, yeah, but this is incredible. This is so interesting. Da, da, da. And I think, and I guess when it comes to that, it's sort of like, you know, to each his own in some ways. But I do think that, like, right, when you're comparing it with past things, with past chapters and past instances that are very similar, the stakes are higher. You care a bit more. You know, that's kind of what I have to say about that. I think I'm done though, because this stream was like 50 minutes, something like that. It's a while. So I'm gonna end it here because people gotta watch this video, you know. And again, I'm gonna do a stream where I talk about stuff, and I gotta react to other Weekly Shonen Jump titles. Now, I gotta react to other Weekly Shonen Jump titles, man. What I'm gonna do is probably take like a 10-minute break, and then go and react to Dr. Stone, and then react to Hunter x Hunter, and then My Hero, and then Promised Neverland. And like that's the order that it's gonna be in. So I'm gonna react to all of them. I got time today. I didn't have to work. We were on break. We had a recess for K through 12 school, so I got time. Okay. All right. And Kingdom's going to be on Friday. I'm gonna have a Kingdom stream on Friday. There's gonna be a Kingdom readathon stream, and part five of the Promised Neverland stream is gonna be on Friday as well. The Kingdom stream is gonna be a bit earlier, definitely. All right. Doing assignments. That's hard. Yo, the one thing I do not miss about school, especially like, you know, where you had to like take tests and exams and papers and stuff like that. I do not miss any of that. I don't miss it at all. Like people will be like, oh, but don't you love writing papers if you went to a doctor program? And like, I think so to some degree, yes. But it's different. You know what I mean? Like I don't miss any of that stuff. What I think more than anything, I guess like what I miss is like, I don't know. I mean, I guess talking to some professors and stuff like that, those conversations were pretty dope at times. But most of that stuff, like I don't miss. Like I like, you know, you can independently research. You can do that stuff. You know, if you want to read it, if I want to read a critical book on my own time, I can do that. You know, if like, nah. I mean, like I do that now, but I just, you know, it's just different. It's just like K through 12. You know, so I don't miss it because like I'm teaching. I'm like this teacher. I enjoy this teaching more. Much more actually. So, you know, I mean, I do miss the mentoring. The mentoring was great, but that was the best part of the program where I wasn't like doing like super intense like research and stuff like that. Where I was just mentoring undergraduate students and everything, and that was cool. That was really fun. I met a lot of cool people. I miss that, I think, but it wasn't enough to like keep me there, you know. So is that. All right, so I'm gonna end the stream. I'm the Black Manga Critic. That was my review. Another rant, of course, because Oda got to step it up. All right. This is my review / live reaction / rant of One Piece chapter 895. I gave it a 5 out of 10. That's how I feel about it. Yeah. And I will see you in like 10 minutes. Okay. I'm the Black Manga Critic, and I'm out.